what's up? Welcome back to our channel, The Virtual Wholesalers. Today we're going to do a video on a few things that you should be avoiding as a new wholesaler.
Yeah, so yesterday somebody in our Facebook feed posted a question, and it was basically out to all wholesalers, and the question was, what is holding you back from getting your first deal, or what is holding you back from getting to the next level in your business? So today, in today's video, we just want to go over a couple of things. There's probably quite a few things that could be holding you back, but here are a couple of things that we think may be holding you back, and just things that you should avoid, especially if you're new. So the first one I would suggest avoiding is quit watching real estate wholesaling webinars, or webinars in general. They are a complete time suck. The only reason I put this in is I am super guilty of it. I find myself sometimes clicking into webinars, and then 30, 40, 45 minutes, an hour later, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? There's zero content given. All the guys doing, all they do is they talk about themselves and how great their life is and how easy it is for the first hour and a half. So you're just sitting there waiting for the content, which usually it really never comes. It ends up being a long sales pitch. But you just sit there, and the guy, all he really is talking about is, oh, my life is great. Here are all my cars. Here's my dog, blah, blah, blah. Look at everywhere I travel. Look, I totally get it. It's a complete sales pitch, and maybe for some people, seeing all that builds some sort of credibility, I guess. But I mean, for us, I could really care less, man. I drive an F-150. I could care less about the guy's lime green sports car. I mean, I'm literally there just for the content, which apparently this guy, people, they do not want to give you the content until the end of the webinar. So you find yourself 2 hours deep into something, wasting a bunch of time that you could have been spending on the phone, calling sellers, making offers, just having meaningful conversations with people that are looking to get rid of their house.
Watching all these webinars will actually give you what is called shiny object syndrome. So you go on, you watch one webinar about wholesaling, and you'll want to be a wholesaler. Then a lot of times you'll go to a flip webinar and so forth, and you'll want to do that. So it's super important that you maintain the focus on your goal of what you're trying to learn, and you want to become an expert in that field first before you start moving forward.
Yeah, so I agree. I definitely think that you should try to avoid, it's a very easy trap to fall in, is becoming a webinar addict, or you chase the shiny object, like Shannon was saying. As soon as you click on the first webinar, you start getting bombarded in your newsfeed with other webinars of being a note flipper, being a apartment syndication, or being a mobile home flipper, which the reason I'm saying that, I can tell you from experience. I bought into a webinar on mobile homes. Situation did not go exactly as we had hoped. It ended up being a disaster. Maybe one day I'll shoot another video on that. It's a very interesting story. But anyway, guys, look, I get it. Shannon gets it. We both get it. Like, you do get sucked into webinars. We still, even to this day, we find ourselves watching webinars, and just at the end of it, I look back at her and I'm like, what the hell did we just watch? Like, that was, we got nothing out of that, but wasted a bunch of time, didn't spend time with our kids, didn't spend time talking to sellers. So before you go down the webinar hole, pick an avenue that you want. If you want to learn wholesaling, go learn wholesaling. Stick with it. Don't try and learn all of these different techniques that you're never going to use. It will waste your time. It'll prevent you from taking action, and it just makes no sense. Before you go down this webinar hole, I would just suggest, like, if you're going to do wholesaling, find somebody that you like, find somebody that makes sense to you, that you can relate to, listen to what they say, and then go implement it. You need to get like 2 or 3 deals, 4 or 5 deals under your belt before you start branching off in all these other avenues. So if you guys are new to wholesaling, listen, there's 2 things that you need to be focused on. One is finding deals and getting them signed up, and the other thing is getting rid of the deals. Don't let yourself get pulled in a million different directions, learning all these different techniques. There's something to be said about laser focus. You need to focus on wholesaling, and that is what you should specialize in for the beginning part of your career, if that's what you're going to do. If you're going to go learn apartments, obviously go do that, but we're talking about wholesaling and new wholesaling here. So if you're going to learn that, there's no reason for you to learn mobile home investing right now if you have not mastered wholesaling. Why in the world, I'm not saying it's out of your league, but typically you're not going to jump into real estate and then go buy a 200 complex apartment. It's just not, that's not reality. It's not going to happen. Eventually, your goal, that may be where you're headed, but right now your goal should be to get a couple deals under your belt, learn the processes, learn the systems, learn what works for you and your system and your company, and then branch out from there.
I agree. So in this video, we're not telling you not to go get educated and not to pay for education. There's nothing wrong with that. What we are telling you is that before you do that, before you go out and get shiny object syndrome, focus, get good, become an expert in wholesaling, and then at that point, once you're making money in wholesaling, then you can turn around and actually go learn. So another thing we really want you to avoid is information overload. So look, we know that you've been coming to our channel and watching it. On our channel, the whole goal is for you to actually implement the things that we're teaching on the channel. It's not to watch the channel and just become overwhelmed and stuck. And that's why we only do one video a week, and in hopes that you can take the video and actually implement the information that we give you in it.
Yeah, I mean, I love you guys watching our channel, but the goal of this channel is not for you to just watch us and not do anything. It's actually for you to take what we're giving you and go out and implement it. You need to be taking massive action in your business, in your life, in anything that you do. You can't toe the water. You actually need to jump in and go for it. Like, you cannot keep wasting time. If you waste time watching all these videos, which again, I'm super appreciative that you guys are watching, but my goal here is not for you to watch me. It's actually for you to build your life and to better your life and your family's life. You're sitting here watching these videos, I mean, ask yourself, like, are you taking what we're giving you and implementing it? Are you going out there and taking massive action even though you have no clue or you really don't know what the actual end result is going to be? You have to step out on faith. You have to go out on faith and just trust the process. And you also have to put yourself out there and be vulnerable at some point. You're going to have to take the leap. At some point in your career, you're going to have to click off this YouTube channel, and you're going to have to go out there and you're going to have to start making calls, talking to people, sending marketing out, and actually working in the business rather than learning what the business is. I can tell you from experience that real life examples and being in the real world and doing things over and over again, that is the best learner. Not YouTube, not webinars, not seminars, not coaching. All of that is awesome. It's all great, but it's not going to get you closer to the deal. The only thing that's going to get you closer to the deal is actually pushing the button to send your marketing out, picking up the phone, calling for leads, calling Zillow leads, calling Craigslist leads, getting your marketing out, getting the phone to ring, and actually talking to people. These videos, they are awesome. I promise you, I still watch YouTube videos on everything, but I also take what I learn and I immediately take action on it. I don't sit on it. Right now I'm learning I'm learning how to make videos. I mean, we were new at this at one point, but every day I just hit the play button and then I go and I mess it up, man. I don't know if these are good. I hope that these are good, but we really just stumble our way through it. We learn our way through it, and real world examples are going to be it's the fastest way to learn something is actually doing it, not reading it in a book.
It's the best teacher.
Yeah, I mean, it really is the best teacher. Like, watching too many YouTube videos or getting too much information overload, it creates problems, because you'll watch a video how we get our leads, and then you'll watch another guy's video on how they get their leads, and then you'll watch another guy's video on how they get their leads, and you'll start to second guess everything. You'll be like, well, Shannon and Adam said this guy said that, this guy said this, which one works? So you have to avoid that, and the only way to avoid that is to not consume so much content. Find somebody, like I said before, find somebody that you relate to that seems real to you. I mean, some of these guys I watch on YouTube and they're just so over the top, it doesn't seem like, I mean, if anybody acts like that in the real world, I'm out of there, dude. I don't have time to be messing with, people come on, they go crazy, but I'm not into that. Like, it's just not who I am. So you need to find somebody that you can relate to, watch their content, and then go out there and do what they say or implement what they say. It may work for you, it may not work for you, but you have to implement, and you cannot watch so many people's videos on the same exact subject. There's so many different. Everybody runs their business is different. Everybody has different techniques. Everybody has different opinions on everything. So you need to find somebody that you know or that you like and that you trust, and you need to follow what they say. Chances are all of the people, all the content that you work, all of that stuff works. The courses that you buy, the webinars that you watch, or the courses that you buy, the seminars that you go to, all of that stuff works, but the key to it is you have to implement it. You have to take the action on it. You can't sit back and just consume it. You have to, my way and the next guy's way, they probably both work, but you have to pick somebody and you actually have to do what they say. So, you know, if you're not careful, you'll find yourself in a rut, the rut of analysis paralysis, which is what we're talking about. You'll just find yourself, you know, you'll look back in a year and you'll realize, man, I haven't done anything. All I've done is watch videos. I have not taken any action, so you're already a year behind. And in this industry, in pretty much any industry right now, things are moving so fast that what you learn today is likely not going to be what is working in 6 months. So you actually just have to get into the field and you have to evolve in the field. You can't sit here all the time watching videos. If you're watching videos from a year ago, those techniques are probably stale and not working. I mean, there is some tried and true methods, obviously, and especially in the wholesaling process, the process has pretty much remained the same, but the techniques and the way that we get leads and the sales techniques and how we talk to sellers, all of that evolves just like anything else in life. So you have to be out there in the real world.
I would say it changes yearly. I mean,
faster than that.
Yeah, you're right. Very fast. I mean, that's one thing about being a wholesaler is you have to adapt quickly and you have to know what the next best thing is. And what's coming, especially for seller leads.
I think that's in anything in life, like in any business, you have to learn to adapt quickly and just keep moving. Like if you're not out there actually implementing and actually in the world, you don't know that it's evolved because you're sitting here on YouTube watching these videos and you have no clue that it's changed since then. We filmed a video, knowledge is not power, applied knowledge is power. You have to get out there and you have to apply what you know. I mean, you can watch years of videos and if you're not doing anything with it, then really the information that you have in your head is useless. It doesn't benefit you in any way at all. Everybody's going to be new at something. You just have to get started. And you know, when you get started and you run into the next problem, you know, you solve the problem at that point. You don't all the lights are not going to be green in your journey. You know, success is very rarely a straight line. So you have to get started. You have to get to the next obstacle. And when you get to the obstacle, figure it out at that point. You don't have to have all the answers to everything right up front. I mean, me and Shannon, we just literally yesterday, we're going into a new market. We have no boots on the ground. We have no title company. We have no buyer's list, but you know what? We have 60,000 leads that we're sending out today, and we'll figure it out. I mean, it just is what it is because we're taking massive action. The problems are going to come up. We are 100% going to come across problems. Don't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
So rather than watch a bunch of videos on how to solve these problems, most of the videos that we watch, the problems will actually not probably come up. It's all in your head. What I'm trying to get to is send out the marketing, make the calls, create the problem, and deal with the problem when you get there.
Look, just like Adam said, there's never going to be a green light, completely green all the way. You're just going to have to jump in and learn. There's also, you're not going to have a guarantee. If Adam and I spend $6,000 in marketing, we are not guaranteed to make that money back. What makes that money back and our profit on top of that is our ability, and we believe in ourselves and our ability to make things happen, and we believe in our processes, and we know that we can get things done and make that money back. It's an investment for us. So that's something you have to think about. I mean, it's called taking massive action and just going out and doing it and knowing that you will make it happen, because no matter what, you're not going to stop until you do.
So luckily for us, we have the mindset, when you're in your life, if you quit looking at obstacles and problems as a negative and you start looking at them as a positive, you need obstacles and problems to grow in your business, in your life, in anything. When you encounter those things, you also encounter a solution to the problem. You need to be solution oriented, not problem oriented. You do not need to worry about the problems. Trust in your ability to solve the problem when it comes. I mean, you know, you can't just sit here and think all the what if, play the what if game. What if this? What if that? What if this? You know, a lot of the things that are in your head, they really never happen. So you're just like, you're in your head, you're beating yourself up for things that are never actually going to happen in your life. You know, you have to embrace problems, you have to embrace change, and you have to trust in yourself and know in yourself that you're going to be able to overcome the obstacle and move past it when it comes. To really start being thankful. Listen, you know, something I started a long time ago is whenever we encountered a problem, I turned my mindset around and was thankful for the problem, because I knew once I solved the problem, I was never ever going to have that problem in my life again, because I figured out I figured out what it took to get past that and to move past that. So never again do I ever have to think about that problem again. I've evolved, we've learned, we've grown as a person, as a team, as a unit. We've moved past that issue. You just have to get out there, take action, and if you hit a problem, that doesn't mean you go all the way back to the start. Like, that's not how it works. You're already past the start. When you hit the problem, just deal with it and continue moving on. Plow through the issue. This was years ago. I was at our local RIA. It was probably one of the best pieces of advice that I had ever had in my life, and I can't believe it took me to that point. There's a guy named Bob Sargent. If you're watching in Jacksonville, the dude is awesome, but he made a comment in the RIA that, you know, it probably didn't mean anything to him, but it actually really changed my life. And he said, whenever he encounters a problem in his life, he handles it exactly at that time. He does not wait. He deals with it right then. He doesn't put it off. And it just, once you get there, you solve the problem, you clear your mind so you can actually think clearly and move forward again. It was literally one of the best pieces of advice of my life. When you go out there, go look for problems to solve. That's what we are as wholesalers. We're problem solvers. So not only are you solving the seller's problem, you're going to run into problems yourself in your own business on what you should say, or you said something wrong. Who cares? Go solve the problem. If there's a bottleneck in your company, or there's a problem in your company, figure it out, solve it, and move forward. I mean, that is the whole name of this game, the game of life. Like, you got to go create problems for yourself and solve them. Quit playing it safe. Playing it safe is just going to keep you in the same position that you're at now, which, I mean, I don't want to be the same in a year, do you?
No.
I mean, nobody wants to be in the same position that they are today next year. I mean, there's no growth in that. So basically, I'm just telling you, quit having analysis paralysis, quit watching so much content and just consuming content. Get out there, take action, get after life, attack life. Like, be on the offense, not on the defense. Don't wait for things to come to you. It's never gonna, I mean, you just have to go out there and you have to create opportunities for yourself. And the way to do that is getting out there, running into problems and solving problems. Not only the seller's problems, but also the problems that you have in your own head, in your own business. You have to get out there, you have to experience them, and you have to solve them. All right, guys, I think that'll do it for today. If you get anything out of this video in a couple quick sentences, click off the webinar, click off this YouTube channel, and go out there and start taking massive action and push your life forward. If it did add value, please give us a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. We put out content weekly on wholesaling, travel, life in general. Anyways, I think that'll do it. You guys crush it this week, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.